Sometimes life tries to steal your peace and dim your light, but John 10:10 promises life to the fullest. I'm your host, Stacey, asking humble heroes the 10:10 questions for one purpose: life to the fullest. Welcome to 10:10 Living. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 10:10 Living podcast. I'm Stacey, and today we have a guest, a wonderful friend of mine, Marshall Beere, that you'll be hearing from. And I want to remind you all, if it's your first time tuning in, a little bit about why 10:10 Living and what is this all about and why are we doing this podcast. It stems from John 10:10, which is the verse that says, "I have come that they may have life and life to the fullest." And I have lived that out in my own life. I've tried to make that my, not only the promise I stand on, but also I'm a trainer, Pilates instructor of 25 years now. And I started noticing that when we apply certain principles to our lives, good things come from it. And the opposite is also true, that there's really a formula to it. And so I decided to ask what I call humble heroes, such as Marshall, the 10:10 Living questions. We ask the guest the same questions in 4 different episodes, and he'll be featured for a month. And so you will get to hear all about his life, his perspective, and a lot of wisdom from him. So first of all, welcome, Marshall.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for doing this with me. It's
my pleasure.
Really a dream come true. I'd like to start by saying how we met. So I'm a trainer and Pilates instructor in Park City at a country club there that Marshall happens to be a member of. And one day, a few years back, this gentleman walks in and he's got these snazzy Oakleys on and this cowboy hat and his tennis shoes and his dog and cute little Frankie. And he comes walking in as I was in between clients, and he says, "Hello, do you think you can help an old guy like me?" I said, "I absolutely can. I would love to." And he said, "All right, well, reach out to me. Here's my number." So that's how it all began. And we started working together with Pilates.
Indeed.
It came together at a really special time in life. It was just before I got remarried. And it was just after a tough time that I'll let you share in your life. And so it began, and I'm not going to spoil your age because it's question number 1, but I'm going to let him tell you how old he was when he started Pilates. So for anyone out there who thinks it's too late to begin, think again. Good. So without further ado, welcome. And also, I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit about you, your story, and your family.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Pennsylvania, a very small town of about 2,400. We had great teachers. They concentrated on reading, writing, and arithmetic, which is a little different than what's happening in some of the schools today. Fortunately, because of that education, I was able to go to Penn State University in Pennsylvania. And I spent 4 years there, finally graduated. I wanted to get to work as soon as I possibly could on my career. So my dad got me into the Army. Back in those days, there was a selective draft. So if you didn't get in the Army when you wanted to, you might have your career interrupted by getting drafted a little later. So I got into the Army and spent 6 months training as an infantryman with the Army. And when I got discharged from my active service, I went into the National Guard for another 6 years. So I started my career in New York City. I got a job with JCPenney. I spent 37 years with them, which I'll get into maybe a little bit more later. Mm-hmm. I married at 26, had 2 great children, still have 2 great children. I divorced at about 38. Later on, married my college sweetheart a number of years later. I spent all those years at JCPenney in New York City, except for the last 10, which were in Dallas, Texas. We moved to Park City in 1998, and I had retired at age 60, which is now a lot of years ago. But we've had a wonderful time in Park City. We did have a house for 20 years in the desert in California as well, which was a lot of fun. We sold that, maybe 5 years ago. And unfortunately, my wife passed away 3 years ago. So I'm now enjoying life in Park City and living with my daughter, Suzanne. She's a wonderful gal, takes great care of me. And we enjoy each other's company. So that's it briefly.
Where'd you graduate from? This is one thing about our friendship that, we had to work out.
Yeah.
I'm an Ohio gal, so, go Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I graduated from Penn State University in 1958. And it's been a long time since graduation, but I still follow Penn State avidly. I watch all their football games. I contribute a little bit to their college. And I try to stay friends with some of my classmates, although I must say, of my 13 fraternity brothers, there's only 2 of us left. Myself and Dick Erb, who lives in Pennsylvania. I stay in contact with him, but unfortunately not too often. But we have a good time texting each other once in a while and telling each other a joke and reminiscing a little bit about some of our past experiences.
Mm-hmm. And also, you are an avid golfer.
I am an avid golfer. I took up golf when I was about 26 or 7. Prior to that, I was an avid tennis player. I used to average 5 hours. I used to average 3 hours a day on the court. Mm-hmm. I played 5 hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, and 8 hours on the weekends. Hence, I guess, my divorce. But tennis got a little harder as I got older, so I took up golf. I love golf. I've played golf for all these years. I've played all over the world. England, Scotland, Ireland, even India. I've enjoyed it. My wife and I one time spent 3 weeks traveling all over Ireland, playing every golf course we could find. And I guess we hit every major one. I've played every major golf course in the United States, from Augusta to Pine Valley to Cypress Point to Pebble Beach, you name it. So golf has been a big part of my life, something that I've really enjoyed, as well as playing with my wife all those years, and she enjoyed it as well. So I still follow golf on TV. I watch all the major tournaments. I enjoy it. I marvel at their expertise. And of course, I was never in their league or even close to it. So I appreciate how terrific they can play and how good they are at navigating the course. So it's been really a fun part of my life.
Yeah. So I work at a golf club that is also has a fitness center and Pilates area. So hence that's how we met, because he's an avid golfer. And also I want to go back for a second to your military service and just say thank you for your service. And also this is in the 40s and 50s.
Yes.
So just to give you guys you're still probably wondering what his age is and how sharp he is. And you can tell just from his experiences that he always puts his best foot forward. So if you're listening to this, go check it out on YouTube as well. And look how snazzy this man looks. So one of the things I noticed the minute I met Marshall was it felt like a hug from heaven meeting you, because he looks so similar. You look so similar to my mom's dad, who was one of my closest people my whole life, my grandpa.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it immediately hit me that they have the same look on life with family, super important. They push themselves to move to the highest levels in their careers, which you hear more about. He's very modest when he talked about JCPenney's, but he was a top dog. He worked his way all the way up. And not only that, but they have similar hair. They have very similar taste in music because he loves Frank Sinatra, Marshall does, and his dog is named after Frank Sinatra, Frankie. Little Frankie. And my grandpa loved the same. He loved all the big band. He grew up in the same era. And not only that, but they dress snazzy. My grandpa also loved tennis. He was an avid tennis player into his 80s and, never stopped growing and learning. And they have the same sparkly blue eyes on top of that. It's so many things. And not only that, but I'm from Ohio and then I moved to Utah, and I have a breakfast crew that is in Ohio. And it's a bunch of buddies and my friends that are older than me. And then I got invited by application. I had to apply, and they put me on probation, and they said, I don't know, we'll have to talk and we'll see. And then we became the best of friends. That was something that was super hard to leave when I moved to Utah from Ohio, including my family. And the minute I met you, I knew it was a special person. And I immediately thought, maybe he'll be in my breakfast crew. I need to restart one in Utah, and maybe he'll be in it. So after we worked together for a while on Pilates, which he has continued with me regularly for the last few years, gained flexibility, strength, and so it's encouraging. But also I said, hey, Marshall, I had this breakfast crew, and I don't have one anymore in Ohio. And just want to let you know, I'm taking applications. And he said, well, what do you mean? How do you apply? I said, well, first step is you have to let me know if you'd like to apply, and you happen to be the first one invited. So it's a very good chance that you'll get in. And so he said, sounds pretty good. Sure, I'll join. I said, you're in luck. You're in. And so ever since then, we've started our little breakfast crew where we meet periodically, and he and I have met up for breakfast, and then now my husband joins us, and then his daughter, Suzanne, joins us. So it's just getting really fun.
Great club.
So I just wanted to say that because it's unique how, life happens, and you never know all the ways that it's working out, that you're blessing somebody else's life by just being in it. So thank you for that. And
indeed.
Is there anything else you'd like? Oh, I wanted you to say a little bit more about JCPenney and how you worked your way up to the very top.
Well, I started with Penny in New York City, and I joined them as a trainee in the buying department. That's the people who buy the merchandise that are sold in the stores. I knew I wasn't the smartest person in the world, but I was determined that nobody was going to outwork me. So I worked 10 to 12 hours a day. I even came in on Saturdays and Sundays. And happily, JCPenney recognized my ability, and I enjoyed the buying part of the job. And I think I had a special knack for it. And it showed up because I got promoted to buyer in 2 years, which I think was a record at the time for JCPenney. I loved buying. I did that for about 5 years before being promoted to a merchandise manager. As a buyer, I'm proud to say I hired the first black trainee. And I should mention that JCPenney, when I joined in 1960, was all men. The men bought everything, even women's panties.
Wow.
And sounds unusual, but that's the way it was. We had no women. We had no people of color. And fortunately, we became enlightened. And I also had the distinction of hiring the first female buyer. If you can imagine, we had probably 200 or 300 buyers, and that was one female, the first one. So I've always been proud of that. And I saw her progress through the ranks, and she became promoted and eventually became a merchandise manager and deserved every bit of what she earned as a buyer and as a penny associate.
Wow. I didn't even realize that piece.
Fortunately, I did achieve becoming a vice president for the company, which I'm proud of. And I was in the women's buying business. And I used to joke that our job was predicting what women wanted 6 months from now. I knew I was wrong. It was just a question of how wrong. But we made it through, and we got rid of the stuff that didn't work and cashed in on the stuff that did work. And fortunately, turned out to be a great career for me. JCPenney's was very, very good to me. I hope I was good to them.
Wow. You can see why I love this guy. And also, this is a dream come true for me because it's 1010 Living coming to life, because my first guest was a dear friend. My second guest was my husband. And now I get to interview Marshall. And the beautiful thing about Life to the Fullest is that promise is for everyone. And he just mentioned having such forward thinking to bring complete inclusion from JCPenney's standpoint for women and all genders and races and cultures. And wow, I'm proud of you for that too. And that is also what I want to do here, to help people understand that it's a politic-free zone. It's a opinion-free zone, but it is a zone where we realize we're much more similar than we think. And learning from people of all ages and all walks of life. So with that, now you get to know how many years young Marshall is with question number 1 of the 1010 questions. So Marshall, how many years young are you on paper? And what would you say is your age in this? How do you feel in your spirit?
Well, in a few months, January, I'll be 90.
People, that is amazing.
You know, you'll find out when you're 90, you don't feel 90. You feel mentally maybe 40 or even 26. Your mind is the same. Your physical body has changed a bit. I'm happy to be doing Pilates with Stacey because I'm trying to stay as fit as I can, so I take care of myself. I'm not a burden on my daughter or anybody else in my family. I try to walk 2 to 3 miles a day, and I'm doing pretty good at this point. I am slowing down a little bit, I feel, but I enjoy it, and I think it's keeping me younger, and I feel better, and I'm trying to have me be physically in better shape so that I enjoy life more and that I feel more like doing things and getting out and being active. So that's an important part of my life right now, staying fit.
Well, I surely appreciate it because I get to have you every week in my life. And I've seen Marshall go more flexible, greater strength. He does more than, no offense to other clients, but he can outwork in Pilates a majority of the clients that I have at all ages. So well done to you. And also,
thanks to you.
Thank you. It's a joy having you. So that leads right into question number 2. What season are you in right now?
Well, obviously, I'm in, I guess, the fall. My runway is shorter than a lot of people's. But I don't look at it that way, really. I try not to look at it that way. I don't want the runway to be short, although I recognize in actuality it is. But it's still good no matter what. You know, you enjoy what you're involved in, and try to be active and in your relationships with people and what you do around home.
One thing I admire about you is, in the way I admire you living life to the fullest, is because when I met you, your wife had passed recently, and you didn't give up. You didn't isolate and go away and stop trying. You tried harder, and you said, I'm still here and I'm going to live it fully, and I have family and friends. And
exactly.
I'm just really proud of you for that. And I also love surrounding myself with people who are ahead of me in life like you. And that's why I want people to hear you and your story and your wisdom and gain nuggets from it, to see if we all get the chance to live to 90 or beyond, what could we learn and what could we apply to our lives? Because this is always meant to be an interactive podcast. It's meant to listen, but then take it to your own life and take it something away that maybe you could say, if I get to live that long, how do I want to be and how do I want to think? But also, what could I take from that and apply to my life now, so maybe I can live that long and live well until those years down the road.
Right.
So I know we've talked about a lot of your story, but I would love to know how you answer question number 3, which is, what got you here?
Well, if you mean what got me to Park City,
any way. You can answer any way you want.
Okay. Well, my wife worked for AT&T in New York City. She was in public relations, and one of her jobs was special events. And one of the special events that she was responsible for was a celebrity ski event in Park City. So for 3 years, we came to Park City, and she supervised this celebrity ski event. And she'd bring in celebrities and congressmen and senators and pro athletes, and they'd ski in competition. We'd participate. So I got to skiing a little bit in Park City, and we got to be familiar with Park City, and we enjoyed it. And later on, when I retired, we decided, well, we ought to consider Park City as a retirement home. So that's what we did. And we retired, came to Park City in 1960, almost 30 years ago. And we've enjoyed it. And I love being in Park City. I loved skiing for 20 years. I now don't ski anymore. Not because I don't think I could do it. I think I still could do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm worried about people running into me. And that would not be good at my age.
That's what also comes, wisdom.
Indeed.
Some wisdom
Right.
with
Know
age.
your limit. Know your limitations, and know other people's limitations.
One thing I would love, since you were talking about your wife, Gail, I would love to have you just share that little snippet of how you guys reconnected, because they were sweethearts in college, right? And then their
Exactly.
paths separated. But I love that story of when she showed up and you met up, and then you tell the rest.
Well, I met Gail at a fraternity party at Penn State. I can remember to this day, she had on a red sweater and one of those plaid skirts, with the big pin that they used to wear. And we became friends. And she lived 20 miles away from me in Pennsylvania. And I used to date her in the summer. And we dated both in college and in the summer. I was 2 years ahead of her. And somehow I got busy with my career and she got busy with her career. And we each married other people. And about 20 years later, when our marriages weren't working the way they should have, maybe, and could have, we got back together. And she came to New York City on a political re-election campaign for her county executive. He was running for controller of New York State. And she called me. My office was in New York City. And I picked up the phone and she said, "Is this Marshall?" I said, "Is this Gail?" So I invited her out to dinner, and she couldn't go, but invited her out to lunch, and then she said dinner the next night. So the next night we had dinner, and we were together after that for 42 years. It's a wonderful marriage. She was very vivacious, smart, caring, charitable, loving woman who loved people, who took care of every person, whether they be the CEO of her company or the person that cleaned her house. She treated everybody equally and tried to help people. I'm sorry I get a little choked up when I talk about her, but she was as lovely a woman as you could possibly imagine.
I feel like I know her.
Yeah.
Tearjerker. And I love the part where you took her to dinner and you started with a cocktail and then another, and they never made it to dinner, folks.
That's true. That's true.
I hope our listeners also, anyone who's listening and hasn't had great experiences in love maybe yet, keep that hope alive. And I have a similar story where it didn't work out the first time.
Right.
Or the second, for that matter.
Indeed.
But third time is a charm for me. And I love how I want people to listen and think this is such valuable information. And I love valuing you because and every person who's ahead of me in life, because not everybody does that, and they forget just because you're retired or just because you have a different season you're in now, they forget how much you have done in life, how much you have given back, and how much knowledge there is to still gain from you and your life. So thank you for sharing all of that. I know that's it's such a beautiful thing to hear. You still remember how she looked exactly, what she was wearing. I mean, it's just true love. And so keep hope alive if you don't have that yet.
Indeed.
So 4 is, who helped you get here?
Well, of course, my parents were an important part of my upbringing. Pennsylvania, like Ohio, as you can attest, Stacey, instills in you a certain work ethic that I don't think is around as much as it should be these days. But I started working when I was 12 years old, mowing lawns. And I worked every summer from that point on, whether it be caddying or painting Christmas decorations for a business in town. I worked construction in the summers in my hometown. I was lucky enough to join a steelworkers union, ironworkers union, really, and I made wonderful money and salary, frankly enough to put myself through college. My mother had passed at that point, and my dad had 2 other children in college, so he couldn't help me much. So I helped myself, and I made enough money to pay my tuition and my room and board. I'm proud of that, but it wasn't as expensive as you might think back then in a state college, but I did manage to take care of it. But I had many mentors along the way, buyers that trained me, merchandise managers that trained me as buyer, people in New York that I met in social situations. I think the fraternity that I belonged to, SAE, by the way, provided me with a lot of social instincts that I might not otherwise have had. I give them great credit for that. And I would encourage anybody in college to find a small group, whether it be a fraternity or something else, so that you become close to a smaller group of people that will help nurture your understanding of relationships and how they work, and the work that you need to put into them to keep them active and keep them real. So those are some of the things that helped me in my life that I think were very important.
I love those because
to me.
You just gave help to a wide group of people if they wanted to take it.
Definitely.
So leading up to this one, I can't wait to hear what your answer is. What is your favorite ride of your life moment, or your what I call big wave moment so far?
Oh, boy. There have been so many of them. It's hard to single out one. Certainly getting promoted as buyer at a young age was huge for me, because what it meant was not only recognition, but security. I felt, if I keep working as hard as I am, there's more that I can achieve. And it'll not only give me a stable thing to do for my life, but it'll help me financially. So that was a big moment in my life, I think. I think back on that. Marrying my second wife was also huge. Obviously, after missing out on the first time in our relationship, I never expected that to happen. But when the opportunity came up, I grabbed at it hard.
Smart man.
That was another big turning point, I think, in my life.
So beautiful. So that leads us into question number 6, which is, what are you most looking forward to that is still yet to come?
Well, when you're young, I think you chase novelty. Information is all important to you. You're looking ahead to future possibilities and what advancements can you make in life? What different things can happen to you that'll, make your life easier, more productive, more enjoyable. When you get older and your runway is shorter, I think you pay more attention to little things that matter. Relationships with people. You think about the present more than the hypothetical. But I look forward to, for example, I went to see Chris Botti at the Deer Valley Musical Festival last Saturday night with my daughter. And next Saturday night, I'm going to see Chicago the Musical at Deer Valley. Music has always been a big part of my life. I played trumpet as a kid in the high school band. And later on in my life, I played in a little sextet called the Sadistic Six. It was a little combo that we formed with a fellow student named Fred Waring Jr. I don't know if anybody recognizes Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians, but they were a band that was very prominent. This was his son, and he formed a band. He was a trombone player, and he formed a band, and I played a little bit in that band with trumpet. And later on, I led the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New York City 4 years straight.
What? I didn't know that.
And the reason that was is I joined the 42nd Rainbow Division Band in New York City as a trumpet player. And when I tell you I was the 8th seat in an 8 trumpet player ensemble, I'm not being immodest. Most of the players in that band were music teachers from Long Island and New York City, or musicians in the pits of the orchestras in the musical plays and the Broadway shows in New York. So they were fabulous musicians, and I was kind of a fill-in. I could play all the marches and so forth, but I wasn't in their category. But that's what I did for my 6 years in my reserve training in the Army.
Well, that's another thing we have in common. We both played brass instruments. I was the trombone.
Oh.
You're the trumpet.
Okay. I always liked the trombone. Yeah. I still do. It's got a great sound.
And it shows, again, your work ethic, because you worked for that.
Indeed.
That's
Indeed.
Really awesome. Okay. That leads us right into question 7, which is, what dreams do you still have?
Well, I dream about making sure my kids are secure in life. I dream about, trying to live life to the fullest in a healthy way. I dream about trying to play golf like one handicapper, but I know that's not going to happen.
You can still dream.
I appreciate things more. I dream a lot about stuff, but I think it's more important that I appreciate stuff more, I think, at my age than I did when I was younger. Even a good hard rainfall is something that I really look at and enjoy more than I ever did before. sunsets, sunrises, things like that, small things. My cup of coffee early in the morning. I mean, you don't realize how much you appreciate things like that until you get on and age a little bit. And, your expectations are a little less. But you take solace in the fact that there's a lot of things to appreciate in life that are not as big as you think they're not as big as they were. They're bigger than they used to be when you thought about them. They're more important to you than you used to think they ever would be. So enjoy that.
Well, I surround myself with a lot of people who are ahead of me in years, and I try to apply the things you say that you learn now so that I apply it and see, could I live my life fuller because I recognize what to be grateful for now. Those little things are the big things.
Right.
And I try to do that, and I encourage the listeners to apply that to their lives, because take note that maybe you can make your path a little more seamless, and instead of learning the hard way always, maybe we can take some notes away from people like Marshall who have been willing to share, well, this worked, this didn't, was a little better for me, maybe it'll work for you. So, and that leads us to question number 8, which is, you mentioned trying to live your life to the fullest, but how often do you think about living your life to the fullest?
Tell you the truth, not a lot. I feel I am living my life to the fullest, considering everything. I'm enjoying my life living with my daughter. I'm enjoying having my son come to visit me. He lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. He comes 3 or 4 times a year to spend a week or so with me, so I enjoy that. I enjoy my grandsons. I enjoy watching them play golf and do their sporting activities. I enjoy following their successes in college and on the sports field. I had one that just graduated from college, and he has a great job now in Denver. So that gives me great pleasure to see them progress in life. So that's the fun of it for me now. Watching other people progress and get their lives in order, and see them with their girlfriends, and all that's fun for me. I enjoy all that.
And what an awesome grandpa. And are you a great grandpa now too?
Say again, Stacey?
Are you a great grandpa now too?
I'm a great grandpa. My granddaughter has a 6-year-old son, cute as can be. She lives out in San Diego, Encinitas, really. He comes to Park City 2 or 3 times a year. So I enjoy seeing him grow up. He's cutie pie. He's the only great grandchild I have. But I have, 4 grandchildren. And I have a brother who has 6 grandchildren. So I enjoy hearing about them and their growth and what they're doing and how they're getting along. And I talk to my brother, who's 7 years younger, on a routine basis. He's a great guy. He's been retired for quite a number of years, but he and his wife do a lot of traveling. He's got a lot of energy, a lot more than me.
He's just a spring chicken.
So I live vicariously a little bit through his travels. He fills me in, sends me pictures. So that's kind of fun for me. But other than that, that's kind of my life right now.
Mm-hmm. So to sum it up, question 9 is what does living life to the fullest really mean to you?
I think it's trying to enjoy the things that you have, not the things that you don't have. Mm-hmm. It's taking advantage of what's available to you. It's enjoying the things that you love. It's enjoying the many memories that you have from the past. I think in the past about the things that I've done and the places I've been, and they all give me enjoyment when I think back on them, and I relive them. Mm-hmm. And in many ways, it was like they happened yesterday, Mm-hmm. And I still giggle at some of the things that happened to me over the years, and it's really settling in and knowing that you're never going to be 26 again. Mm-hmm. It's facing the fact that you're 90, but life's not over. Mm-hmm. In many cases, there's some things that maybe are more enjoyable now than they were 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I think when you take that kind of an attitude, it promotes being satisfied with life, being satisfied with what you're doing and how you're living, and it makes life enjoyable, even though the future isn't the future of 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. There's still a future. Mm-hmm. And it may not be quite as complex, but it's still a lot of fun.
Well, and that is precisely why it matters who you surround yourself with, too. This is why I like to surround myself with people like you, Marshall.
Thank you, Stacey.
Question 10 for episode 1 is, what is your best thought today?
Oh, my best thought today. I guess my best thought today is not for myself. My best thought today is for others who are going to someday be my age. Mm-hmm. And that thought is, don't be afraid of it. Look forward to it. There's a lot of things that you're going to enjoy about it. There's a lot of things that you're going to be able to do when you're 90 that you might not expect you can do, whether it be physical or mental. Fortunately, I have my faculties pretty much with me, although I always forget names a little bit. But I don't worry about that too much because I've always forgotten names a little bit as I've been growing up. But I think you should approach getting old as something that's natural, something that you'll enjoy when you get there. And don't be afraid when it happens to you. It happens to everybody. And my thought for today for you is to make sure you approach it enthusiastically, with humor, and with dignity, because I think you'll find it a lot more enjoyable than you might expect.
Wow. Well, amazing answers. And I'm soaking them in right now too, because I intentionally didn't go over his answers ahead of time like I usually do, because I just wanted to be surprised at what your responses were, and I could not wait to soak it in for myself and take it forward. So this is a treasure to be able to do this with you, and so this is the end of episode 1. So remember, life keeps twisting, but we keep living. Tune in for the next episode for the 1010 Lifelines with Marshall Beere.
Thank you, Stacey.